Hello ladies and gents. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a technical diagram using Onshape. The first thing you're going to need to do is to create your 3D model, and then you can use that to create a diagram. So if you look at the diagram I've created on the screen, I've simply created a coffee cup and I've created a technical diagram using that 3D model. So to do that, the first thing you're going to have to do is create a new project, and in the Part Studio, create all the parts that you need. So you can see here, I've made my coffee cup as a single part. You can also make multiple parts and then assemble them in the assembly window if you need to. Obviously, the more complex the product, if it requires an assembly, you'll use that as the basis for your drawing instead of just something from the Part Studio. Anyway, let's get started and see how we make this technical diagram. So in this document, I have an A3 template, different views of the 3D model I've created, a front view, left view, and top view, and also an isometric view that's shaded so that it looks like the 3D model that I created in the other window. At the bottom of the document, I've got some details that help people understand what they're looking at. I've got the product title, who the document was created by, the date, the sheet size, the units, the scale, and how many pages are in this set of diagrams, and it's only one page for this example. So when you have created your 3D model in the Part Studio, you can then download the template, the technical diagram template, from the description in this YouTube video, and we will upload that by clicking on the little plus icon in the bottom left-hand side of the screen where it says Insert New Tab. Click that and then click Import. Now, if you've downloaded that file from the video description, in your Downloads folder, you'll have a document called Drawing Template DWT. Onshape provides its own templates, but I've created a simple, straightforward one that's easier for us to use in our lesson. So click that document and then click Open, and you'll have a message after a few seconds saying that the document's been uploaded. And you can see that at the top of the screen in green. Okay, so the next step is to create a new drawing. Go back to the Insert tab in the bottom left, click it, and this time select Create Drawing. On the side panel of the new window that's opened, go to Created by Me, and you'll see the name of the template you've uploaded. So drawing template.dwt, click that, and then click OK. And the document has been opened. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see we've got a Drawing To tab. That's the page that we're looking at right now. And straight away, the Insert View window has appeared, allowing us to insert our parts or assemblies into this document. Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, this little window doesn't appear for some strange reason, or you've closed it down accidentally. You can simply reopen it by going to the top left, going to Insert View, clicking on the Insert tab, and the window will reappear. Now, if we look at this new window, you can see we've got a tab for Part Studio and a tab for Assemblies, and I've got the coffee cup in both of them. So I'm just going to use the Part Studio tab. That's fine for this one. So you can click the part that you want to bring in, and after a few seconds, you'll get this little black and white image of the product that you've created. So you can place this anywhere on the document. I'm going to put it in the top left of the screen. So you click to place it, and then what Onshape will expect you to do is move to another place on the document to place different views. Now, this is quite convenient, but the problem with it is if you make changes to the views of one of your elements, it can have a knock-on effect on the others and change the way everything else looks. So what we're going to do in this example is press the Escape key to cancel out of that. So we're just left with that one image. And now we're going to make changes to this. So we can click on it and drag it around the page if we're not happy with the placement, but I'm just going to leave it where it is. And then if you double click it, the View Properties window will open, and you can see there's a list of different properties, but we're not really going to play around with all of them, just the most important ones. So the view orientation, this allows us to change the different view. So I could change it to maybe the top of the cup, and after a few seconds that will update, or we could have an isometric view. But I'm going to leave that as the front view. Now, the next one is scale. So right now it's at 50% scale or 1:2 scale. So I'm going to change that to 1:1 scale, so 100% scale. And then I'll not worry about any of the other options. They're not really important for what we're doing. But we want to click on the little checkbox for view label, and this will give us the name of the view, so we know what view we're looking at. Since we're already going to put the scale down at the bottom of the page in the diagram details, I'm going to deselect or uncheck the scale label so it doesn't say 1:1 beneath it. Right, so I'm happy with that. I can see the view that I need, it's labeled, so I'm just going to click the green check mark to apply that. And again, if you're not happy with the placement, you can just click and drag and move it around the window. So if we want to insert another view, which is completely separate and not linked to the one we've just created, click back on the Insert View button and just repeat that process. Go to the Insert tab, click on the part, and then drag it in and click to place it. And just like before, double click it to open up the view properties. I'm going to look at the right of this cup now. So that I'll make it the left so we can see the handle as if it's facing us, and change that to 1:1 scale as well. Put a check mark in view label and then deselect the scale label. And if you're happy with that, click the green check mark and make some small adjustments to its positioning if you're not happy with the way it looks. And then we're going to add two more. I'm going to add a view of the top of the cup, so insert view, insert, click on the part again, bring it onto your document and click to apply. Remember to press the escape key to deselect and then double click it. I'm going to change it to the top view, 1:1 scale or 100% scale. Put the view label on it, get rid of the scale label, and then click the green check mark. And then finally, one more time, insert view, insert part. Place that one in the bottom right-hand corner, and we'll make this an isometric view. So press the escape key, double click, select the isometric view, change it to 1:1 scale, and view label, reduce, get rid of the scale label. Okay. So when you're happy with that, just click the green check mark, and there we go. So I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit and reposition some things in the document by clicking and dragging them around like that. So it's just like the original version that I showed you at the start of the video. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is edit the way some of these diagrams look. So the first thing I'm going to do is right-click on the isometric view, and I'm going to click Show Hide and select Show Shaded View. And what that will do is it will color it in so you've got a nice colored version, just like your 3D model, so people can see what the product looks like. You don't have to do that, but that's how you do it. Now, if we look back at the front view, you can see that with a cup in real life, the walls would have thickness, and we can't see that on the diagram right now. So to be able to see those interior walls and see how thick they'd be, we simply need to right-click on that front view and go to Show, and then Show Hidden Lines. And a series of lines will appear, but they're quite large, so I want to change the way that they look so that they're dashed and a little bit more clear, so it's easier to understand what they represent. So to do that, I'm going to right click on the front view again, and this time I'm going to select the Adjust Line Style option. So the first thing it asks you to do with this edges part in the blue box is select the lines that you'd like to change the look of. So I'll take those 3 interior walls and the line at the base of the cup as well. So I've selected 4 parts there. I'm going to make those dashed, which it's already set to. So obviously the dashes are too large. So I'm going to make this much smaller. So I'll try 0.2 and then press enter. And that didn't make any changes. So let's try another one, 0.01, and try that, press enter. There we go. So with these 0.01 size dashes, they're much more clear and easy to see, so people can understand the document a little bit more easily. So with that done, I'll click the green check mark to apply that, and then I can repeat the process for the left view. So again, right click, show hidden lines, and then right click again, adjust line style. We're going to choose the 3 inner edges and then the one towards the base of the cup, which I can't get there, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can select it. Zoom in some more, there we go, that's better, and then I can zoom back out. Okay, so with those 4 selected, dashed is already selected, so I'm just going to change the size of that dash the same as the other one, 0.01, and then press enter. There we go. Okay, right, so now we can see the interior walls. I'll click on the green check mark to apply that, and then I can zoom back out and reposition the document. There we go. So all that's left to do now is add dimensions and the information at the bottom of the page. So let's move on to that. So we can add dimensions by using the dimension tool, the same as you do when you add dimensions to a sketch when you're creating the 3D model. So at the top of the page there's a dimension tool. If you click that, and you can see it's highlighted in dark blue now, I can zoom in and choose the lines that I want to measure. So I'm going to select this line at the top of the cup, click that, the measurement appears, move the mouse cursor upward, and there we go, we've got a measurement of 80 millimeters, and you can move the mouse cursor left and right to change where the position of that value goes. So just click to apply that. Then I'm going to measure the side of the cup, so click on that side line there and bring that one out, so that's 94 millimeters, there we go. Let's do the height of the handle, so we're going to need a slightly different control here. So go to the dimension tool, click on the little arrow next to it, and we're going to have this 2-point linear dimension. Click on that one, and then this will give us this little target box. If we just zoom in, I'll choose the very top of that handle there and choose the same point at the bottom there, bring that out and mark the measurement there by clicking to apply that. Now I want to show the thickness of the handle, and as I move the mouse cursor, it's letting me select that midpoint of the inner handle but not on the outer handle. So I'm going to have to add some anchor points. To do that, if you look at the top of the screen, if you go to the horizontal, vertical, oh no, it's not that tool, it's further to the left, there we go, the line tool, and then click on sketch point, click that, and you'll see that the target kind of snaps to the line, you get that little red icon. We're going to click on that center point and it changed to a square there, so click that, and we'll do the same on the opposite side of the handle. So we've got these 2 points that we can use as anchors. Now go back to the 2-point linear dimension, click on the first one, click on the second point, move the mouse cursor upwards, and there you go, you've got your value there of 10 millimeters. So now I can zoom out and I can start to add some more dimensions. So if I zoom in at the bottom, I can use the dimension tool here to measure that point to that point at the base, and I can move it right down there so it's only 1 millimeter. There we go, and you can do that for other small parts. So if we zoom out and scroll to the top, I can do that here as well. So from this point to this point, there we go, that's 1 millimeter. All right, okay. So that's all that labeled up, and there's no reason to repeat dimensions that already appear in one view. So we've done the front view. Let's move on to the left one. So I'm going to zoom in, and I just want to get the width of this handle. So we'll try it with the dimension tool and see if that works. That point and that point. Move it upwards. There we go. There. And if you want to do it at the other end, it's not letting me pick those points on that kind of little wider outline. So I can go to the sketch point tool, add a sketch point like that, and then use that 2-point linear dimension. Click on that one, click on that one, move it out there. Okay, so you get the dimensions for the handle there. And it's that simple. So finally, let's just finish this off. We're going to put some measurements on the top view. So to do that, we're going to go back to the dimension tool. I'm going to choose the outer circle, and there we go. That gives us the diameter, which is 80 millimeters. And if we get that line to line dimension, this is going to allow us to choose 2 lines and get the width of this cup. So let's zoom in here, deselect that, try that again. Line to line, make sure that one's picked. Or maybe not, just the dimension there, 1 to that one. There we go. So I've just used the dimension tool there, pick both those lines. So there, that inner wall there is 3 millimeters. Okay, and then I can zoom out. And there we go, I've labeled all that up. All right, so all that we need to do now is deselect the measurement tool, the dimension tool, and type in the information here. So product title, this is coffee cup. Click the green check mark, drawn by, so this can be done by a guy called John Smith. Click the green check mark. The date, let's just pretend it's the 1st of December 2025. Sheet size has already been entered, it's A3. Units, we're using millimeters. You just put mm or the whole word if you want. I'll just type mm. Scale is 1:1 or 100%. And then page 1 of 1. There we go. And then click the green check mark. So we've got the cup all measured with its dimensions. We've got a nice isometric view, so we can also include the 3D model all coloured in on our diagram as well. We've got all the information we need, so people know who it's by and what the sheet size is and all that other important information. And now all we need to do is export this, so we could put it into our work, maybe put it onto a Google slide or something like that. So to do that, it's very simple. If you right click on the Drawing 2 tab, click Export, and then you can give it a file name. You can leave it as Drawing 2, or I can just call it Coffee Cup Tech Diagram. And you can change the file type to like PDF or something else. I'm just going to download it as a JPEG, and then just click Export. And then after a few seconds, once it's processed and downloaded, you can go to your Downloads folder. There we go, we can see it here. Coffee cup tech diagram.jpg, double click that. and it'll open up, and you can use that in your work. You can print that out, put it on a Google slide, email it to a teacher, something like that. Okay, so that's how you make technical diagrams in Onshape. It's very straightforward, so give that a go yourself.